welcome to Christian Weather Broadcasting. Repent and put your faith in Jesus because only He can save you from hell. We deserve hell for our sin, but Jesus can save you from death, which is also a punishment for sin, and hell. Alrighty, everybody. Right now, we're going to do a forecast on Tropical Storm Lee and some of the other systems in the Atlantic, so get ready. Plus, take a look down in those comments because I am posting a poll that I want you to answer to, so I would hope to get about 20 replies. Alrighty, everybody, so head on down to the comments to that poll. It's going to be a short little poll, and then I can share the results if you'd like in a future video. Alrighty, everybody, right now we have three systems here: Lee, Tropical Depression, Disturbance 1 and Disturbance 2. Let's start off with Disturbance 1 here. A broad low-pressure system associated with a strong tropical wave off the coast of West Africa is producing a large area of showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development, and a tropical depression could form over the far eastern tropical Atlantic during the middle to latter part of the week, while the system moves westward at 10 to 15 miles per hour. This system is expected to move across the Cabo Verde Islands Wednesday night and Thursday, and interest in those interest there should monitor its progress. In the next 48 hours, low 30% chance of formation, and formation chance through the next 7 days is high at 70% chance. We have Disturbance 2, which is actually post-tropical cyclone Franklin, still tootling around out there. It's located now a few hundred miles northeast of the Azores, and is forecast to move quickly eastward towards warmer waters east of the Azores. This system could acquire some subtropical or tropical characteristics later this week or weekend while it moves erratically between the Azores and Portugal. For further information on this system, including gale warnings, see high seas forecast issued by Meteo France. Low near 0% chance in the next 48 hours, and through the next 7 days, low at 20% chance. Now we have Tropical Storm Lee. Winds of 45 miles per hour, minimum central pressure of 1,005 millibars, and movement at 16 miles per hour west-northwest. Let's read the key messages for the storm. Lee is forecast to become a major hurricane by this weekend and could bring impacts to the Leeward Islands by that time. While it is too soon to determine the location and magnitude of these possible impacts, interests in these areas should monitor the progress of Lee and further updates to the forecast. Let's take a look at those wind speed probabilities. Portions of the Leeward Islands, we're looking at around, not very much, probably around 10 to 20, and some of those islands out there may have a 30 to 40% chance of tropical storm force winds, and Puerto Rico does have a small percent chance, and the Dominican Republic has a very little chance of tropical storm force winds. If you're going to get those tropical storm force winds and you live in these areas, what time are they going to get there? Leeward Islands, Friday 8 a.m., and by Friday 8 p.m. they're moving through there. Puerto Rico, Saturday 8 a.m., those winds will be just off the coast of Puerto Rico, and by Saturday 8 p.m. those winds will be moving towards the Dominican Republic. That is if those tropical storm force winds get to those places, and that depends on track, but we'll know more about that as the forecast goes on for this storm. Let's go to the cone of uncertainty for this thing. It is forecast to become a hurricane by 2 a.m. Thursday, so 1 day from now. And it's forecast to become a major hurricane by 2 p.m. Friday. The National Hurricane Center is forecasting a 145-mile-an-hour Category 4 hurricane out of this system. Where should you watch out? If you live in the path of the storm, where should you watch? I would say the Leeward Islands, possibly Puerto Rico, and maybe portions of the Dominican Republic. If you live in these areas, depending on track. If it takes this lower track, that was drawn badly. If it takes this lower track right around here, land impacts will be more, so you just need to keep an eye out. I would say Bermuda should also keep an eye out on this system, since we don't know exactly where it's going to go. And Canada and Maine should also keep an eye out. The GFS was forecasting Maine, but now it's showing a landfall possibly in Canada. Let's go to our intensity and track forecast. Yes, this is going to be a major hurricane according to the latest forecast, but there is some good news in this storm. So, I want you guys to pay attention to this high pressure system right here. Watch what happens as we go throughout the forecast. See that? We're not hitting the coast of the United States. Why not? Well, here's what's happening. We have here, let me change the marker size, we have a high pressure system here, and you can see that high pressure system is there in that area. And what the high pressure system is doing is it's guiding the storm. It's pushing it in that general direction. Let me change the marker size there. Fix that. It's pushing this storm up and away from the southern states. This is what I believe is called the Bermuda High. And when a Bermuda High is weak, it does not let the storm go into the southern states or into the Gulf. Instead, it steers it up through the Atlantic, like so. So that's why we're seeing this storm move on this general path. Let's say the Bermuda High was stronger, we could see impacts in Florida or in the Gulf if it was super strong. But because it's not, it has the ability to push this storm right along and pull it away from land, though we could see a possible landfall, as you can see here in Canada. Looks like Nova Scotia. You could be seeing a possible landfall from Lee, but we'll have to watch the forecast for further updates on that. Some models do bring this closer to land, so we do need to keep an eye on this, and some models are hinting at a very strong storm going down into the 920s with millibar pressure, and so that, and one model bringing it down all the way to 906, which I don't think as of now we'll see that, but there is a possibility this could become a Category 5 hurricane. Let's go to our tracks for this system. As you can see, some of those models bringing it close to land, some, yeah, you can see some close, but the good news is with this track right now, most of the models are not bringing it extremely close to land, though there is the possibility of effects. And Bermuda, I would say, should keep an eye on this right now, but there's no imminent threat for Bermuda. And let's go back to the GFS model to see if Bermuda will get a hit. Looks like it'll just skirt right around Bermuda, so that is good. Let's see here. So, Category 4, it seems like a good majority of the models are bringing it there, and a possible Category 5 as some of the models, and then some of the models are kind of crazy down there, bringing it, one, having it weakened to a depression, which does not seem to be the case right now. And here is Tropical Storm Lee. You're looking at it on satellite imagery right there, and we're going to see this further intensify. So it will start gaining a better look on the satellite imagery. It may look like a totally different storm tomorrow on the next update. We'll just have to see. And now it's time for tomorrow's forecast. Alrighty, everybody. Tomorrow's 24-hour rain forecast. You can see some of that rain is finally out of the panhandle of Florida. It looks like Florida, you're going to be staying dry for the most part. West coast of the United States, you're going to be staying dry as well, except for maybe some spotty areas. In Nevada and into Idaho and surrounding states, slight possibility of less than an inch. Some areas in the United States where that pink color is could get up to a couple inches of rain, but you can see for the most part, the most rain we're going to see is about an inch, indicated by the lighter blue colors. And the east coast is looking pretty much dry, except for the possibility of an occasional shower. Temperature forecast. Well, Texas still leading us in those hot temperatures at 101 degrees in certain areas of Texas. Florida going to be looking at those mid to high 90s, and portions of up into the northwest, looking at mid 80s to high 90s. And on the west coast, looking at a little bit warmer temperatures. Oregon and Washington, low to mid 60s to possibly low 70s. And portions of California could be experiencing up into the 80s for temperature. Alrighty, everybody, this has been Christian Weather Broadcasting. Thank you for watching, and please check that poll in the comment section. This has been Christian Weather Broadcasting.